Welcome, everyone, to an inside look at Ancestry. I'm Crista Cowan. I'm the corporate genealogist here at Ancestry, and I'm super excited to invite you into this conversation that I will be having with our new-ish CEO, Howard Hochhauser, and we'll be sharing with you some guests who have some exciting product updates as well. Howard, welcome. Thank you for being here.
I'm so glad to be here. Thank you, Crista.
So to help our customers get to know you a little bit better, would you tell us a little bit just about your own story, your own family?
Yeah. And I would say newish to the role, but been here 17 years. So very passionate user of Ancestry and longtime employee of Ancestry. So my own family, let me start with my family tree. So I actually was living in New York City and went on Ancestry and found out my grandfather had been living down the block from where I was living. And it's like, gosh, this thing is really powerful to know that I'm living sort of near and growing up and raising my kids very near where he was. And that gave me the genealogy bug.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. What else, other than getting bit by the genealogy bug, what else was it about Ancestry that attracted you?
Well, it really is the mission. So I joined almost 20 years ago. It makes me feel old. But, I joined, we were just crossing the 1 million subscriber mark. Now we're well north of 3 million subscribers, 3.5 million subscribers. And it really has been this consistency, this focus on family history and serving our customers that I think has kept all of us here and really kept me motivated. I had been building out my family tree since I joined. And just a month ago, I got this really great photo hint of my brother, right? That I grew up with my brother. He was, just like I could put my arm out my door and I would touch him. And I got this great photo hint of him in his yearbook. And we should add this picture. It's him with this giant afro that I had never seen before. And so, yes, I've been doing my tree for 20 years or almost 20 years. And to get something like that, right, new discovery is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing. You were telling me the other day, you also have a tree score that you've been paying attention to.
Not to be competitive, but yes, I do. Slightly higher than yours, but...
It is a little more than slightly.
But in fairness, Krista's tree is, 100 times larger than mine, which is much more impressive, frankly.
Well, I've been doing it a little bit longer than you have, so I think that's okay. So as you think about stepping into this new role as CEO, you've officially been in this role since February.
Yep.
So we're a few months in. You made some tweaks to the company mission statement.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, frankly, that was one of the first things I did, right? Is to really have us stand for something powerful. And so we rolled it out, help everyone, and it really is about everyone, discover, preserve, and share their unique family stories.
Yeah, I love that. So that discover, preserve, share, that is a core of what we've been doing all along, but we've just kind of tweaked some of the language around who we serve, how we serve them, and then really what we hope they get out of it, which ultimately is those family stories.
Yeah.
As you think about some of the product innovations here at Ancestry, DNA has played a huge role. That's launched since you've been with the company and has gone a lot of places. Talk to us a little bit about that.
DNA continues to impress me. Since our launch in 2012, the innovation continues, and I continue to get pretty neat discoveries.
Yeah, it's amazing to me. Like I have tens of thousands of cousins, not as many as you because Jewish endogamy means you have a lot more matches.
That's right.
But as I think about, you think at some point you'd run out of cousins, but every week I pop on there with my dad. We sit down Sunday nights. We work on our family history together. He'll pull up the match list and he'll say, well, your grandmother has another third cousin this week. And, and the new discoveries, they just never end. And so I love that about not just our entire experience on Ancestry, but DNA in particular has been a really powerful catalyst for our family for continuing to make discoveries, even though our family tree is so large. I'm really loving my conversation with you, but we do have some guests today, and so I want to make sure that they have an opportunity to share some of the exciting things that they are working on. We are going to talk to Kyle. He is a VP of product here at Ancestry, and he's got some exciting things to share about specifically some of the DNA product innovations happening at Ancestry right now.
Thank you, Howard and Crista. My name is Kyle, and I'm VP of Product. I've been involved with DNA for nearly 20 years, 9 of which have been at Ancestry. I've seen a lot of inspiring changes, but I've never been more excited about what's on the horizon. As a team, we've been focused on answering one question: how can we help you have more successful discoveries? I'm going to take you inside some of our latest innovations. Not only what they are, but why they can help you discover, preserve, and share your family history in new and better ways. From new regions to DNA highlights, to matches by ancestor, to matches by cluster, it's big news, especially if you already have Ancestry DNA. Something that you'll see in just a few days in your DNA results will be the addition of 68 new or updated regions, which is massive. Most of these will be in Europe and will give you more specificity than ever before. You'll also notice your results will look a little different. You'll get more regions grouped by population or geography, and under these regions there will be very detailed information, even down to the county level. We're really excited about helping you learn where you're from, not just generally, but very specifically. This new update will mean Ancestry DNA can potentially connect you to over 3,600 places around the world. We've heard from so many of you that getting your results is exciting, and you want a way to tell family and friends what you've discovered. So we created DNA Highlights, a new way to easily share what you learned from your DNA. You inspired us to create this experience that shows highlights from your results, including regions, journeys, and traits in a beautiful format. You can easily share what you want to, whether it's on social media, by text, or email. It's the first time we've created something like this, and we can't wait to hear what you think. As more people take an Ancestry DNA test, you may notice more DNA matches showing up and wonder, how are we related? With Matches by Ancestor, you can dig into the relationships that connect you and find out. This feature traces a path back a few generations to see the ancestors you both share. If there's someone in your match list you're curious about, you could see the likely common ancestor that connects you in an easily digestible tree view. If you've used throughline, this is the next generation, stitching all your throughline together so you can more clearly understand how they're connected with your match. It's a clear, simple way to grow your tree from your DNA. And if you're ready to do some even deeper investigation, we've introduced something that many of you have been asking for. Matches by cluster. This groundbreaking tool organizes your matches into clusters who likely share a common ancestor. So when you see one of these groupings, you know these matches are likely related through the same person and even which side of your family they're on. You can add clusters to match groups you've created or make new groups. This helps your match list make more sense. And soon, you'll be able to create your own custom clusters. You can select matches of interest and see how your matches cluster around these individuals, providing personalized insights that will help you break through brick walls. So lots of great things coming your way from DNA. We're really excited for you to be able to try them out and give us feedback on how they're working.
Well, thank you to Kyle for sharing a little bit with us about some of the exciting new DNA innovations. I don't know what you're most excited about. I'm always excited about the new update that we do in the fall, but what are you most excited about?
Yeah, the ethnicity update, right? This is going to be the biggest update we've ever had, touching the most customers and the most regions. So this is pretty exciting for a consumer of Ancestry.
Yeah. Trust and privacy are really important. So as you kind of think about customers centric, obviously, in your new role.
Yeah.
How do you think about protecting customer data?
Yeah, that's the whole ballgame. We're, as you said, a customer-centric company. So our business model is truly centered with the customer right in the middle of everything we do. So at the heart of it is giving customers control over their DNA data. And it is completely their data to do with it what they choose. My DNA is there. My family's DNA is there. And again, it's up to the consumer to share their tree or whatever other information they want to share at their discretion.
Yeah. And that's important.
Yeah.
And I have always, my family's DNA is on the site. I put, my siblings and their kids into my family tree. So I really appreciate that. You mentioned your kids earlier. As you think about your journey at Ancestry and how you've connected with your family history, how are you sharing those stories with them?
Yeah, it's so funny. So I have two kids. One's a sophomore in college, the other one just graduated college. Engaging a teenager in something you do sometimes can be hard. And so, admittedly, sharing with them a World War II draft card, sort of, I got the bit of the teenage eye roll. Not surprising. The story, taking a document that I have seen time and time again that was, a static document, which meant something to me, but truly really wasn't shareable and didn't have the same emotional punch as video or audio. I put that into what we're launching now, right? An audio narrative. And I sent him the audio narrative, which is his media. And he was, on the edge of his seat, like loving the story about an ancestor, in this really action-packed, like, sort of battle.
Yeah.
And so it's wonderful. I'm really excited to bring this to the next generation.
I love that. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
But as you think about the discovery part of our mission, is there more to do there still?
There is. Listen, with AI now, the limits of content have just been massively expanded. We used to be constrained because every piece of content used to be hand keyed in by an individual, by a human. So now we could take, just millions more names, records, and put them through an AI machine learning algorithm to get this on our site in a more scalable way and get millions more records to our consumers.
Yeah, I love the numbers behind that. So I started with the company 21 years ago, and one of my first jobs was in content, in indexing, shortly after I was the indexing manager. And at the time, back in 2007,
Yeah.
we were putting out about 2 million records a month. And Ancestry now indexes an average of 5 million records
Yeah,
a day.
it's amazing.
Like the speed at which we're able to provide content for people to make discoveries, to me as a genealogist, is one of the most exciting things that we do.
Yeah, the 1940 census took, 9 months to digitize
Mhm.
and index. The 1950 took 9 days.
Right.
And so as a company, our goal is not to save more money there, spend the same amount of money, but deliver a lot more content to consumers so that over the next, however many years, the content, pipeline should just continue to expand
Yeah.
in the US and internationally. And so what we're doing is, digitizing as much content as possible, institutional content, user content, with the purchase to buy memories, get even more consumer content, bring all that content online so that it really is preserved for the next generation and shareable with all our consumers.
Yeah, I love that. Next up, we have Yoshi. He is another vice president of product here at Ancestry, and he's got some exciting things to share about some AI innovation and some of the ways that we're making things a little bit easier, not just for you to make discoveries, but also to share the discoveries that you're making.
Thanks, Howard and Crista, for sharing. I'm Yoshi. I'm a VP of product, and I've been with Ancestry for 8 years. Recently, I was blown away after uploading some Japanese family documents to Ancestry. Using our AI technology, I uncovered new ancestors and our origin story from the northern part of Japan that my father never knew about. We see AI as a great way to enhance discovery and storytelling, so our teams have been hard at work to use the power of AI to help you find richer, deeper personal stories. Whether it's an old wedding photo, an ancestor's personal journal, or records of your great-grandfather's life, Ancestry AI can bring new context and clarity with our latest innovations, face match, document transcription, and AI stories. You probably have that shoebox of photos or albums passed down in your family, but there's that person in the photo that you just don't recognize. We created Face Match to help solve that mystery. It uses AI to scan our massive database of images to see if we can help you figure out who that person might be. When you add a photo to your tree, you can decide if you want to compare it to the millions of others to see if there's a match. Maybe it's a distant relative, maybe it's your grandpa's best friend. It's an amazing moment to put a name to that face. You probably have some written documents in that shoebox too. Document transcription uses AI to read these journals, letters, postcards, or any valuable written family heirloom you have and easily transcribes them. So you can not only read what that old cursive journal says, but the rich details within it become searchable. You can look for specific memories or events and share all or part of them with family members. We're creating ways to transcribe other things like gravestones and expanding into foreign languages and characters as well. Having a tool like this holds so much promise for your family history. And there's one more AI innovation that feels so meaningful. We call it AI Stories, and it takes a record, like a census, and pulls out information that's pertinent to your family and combines it with other information you've gathered to create an authentic personal story that lives in that record. You can hear it narrated just for you or read it in text format. You can also download this story to share with your family. Supporting these stories, you'll find personalized content that dives deeper into what their lives may have been like, when and where they lived. These new features are just the tip of the iceberg of how AI can enhance the discoveries you can make with Ancestry. Whether you're starting with a photo, a document, or a record, they all mean something to you and your family, and your story is within each. We're using AI carefully and thoughtfully to enhance your ability to understand that story and find a personal, emotional connection in a delightful way. We hope you see as much potential as we do.
Thanks, Yoshi. Super excited, particularly about the face match feature. The AI stuff, I think, is maybe what you're most excited about.
Both. The tagging feature, I've been, on a tagging binge the past weekend, just uploading photos from my dad's basement, tagging everybody, and then trying to identify those that I don't know. That is powerful and just meaningful. Now I hope other people get the benefit and see those photos.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exciting to me, the opportunity, because I have boxes of photos.
Yeah.
Many I have
Cut it down.
identified, so many I haven't yet. You mentioned earlier that we recently purchased iMemories.
Indeed, we did.
So talk to us a little bit about the reason behind the purchase of iMemories.
Yeah. So I have, like Ancestry, I have been a customer of iMemories for about a decade. And I could share with you, goofy pictures of me from the 80s playing air guitar at a bar mitzvah. So listen, this gets back to our mission statement: discover, preserve, and share family stories. So I met the team there, Mark and Steve. They built this business themselves from scratch over years, like Ancestry, and they are passionate about what they do. They have the highest customer satisfaction, the best product experience, and that aligns well with what we're trying to do. We want to provide the best product experience, the best customer satisfaction. So you have a great product that's squarely within our mission, that I personally just absolutely adore and love and use. To me, that's all the criteria for a great acquisition. So that's why we leaned in, bought the company. They're part of the team. And now we'd love to bring all that content onto Ancestry. So all the memories of my grandfather, of my brothers, all live on Ancestry, and I could share it in a way where whoever wants to plug in and see it, can. So a lot more work to do. I have a basement full of stuff that needs to be digitized.
You're not alone.
Yeah.
Like, as we kind of Gen Xers get into that age where our parents are starting to downsize their houses, they're giving us all their stuff. And in some of that stuff are some real treasures, but it can feel overwhelming to figure out how to preserve it. So I love that Ancestry is leaning into that space and providing an opportunity and a way forward for people, not just to figure out how to organize and digitize, but then ultimately to get them on Ancestry.
And to share those stories. There's lots of rich stories there. And it goes beyond just photographs to videotapes, old film. Even I found, a book report I guess, father had done as a kid, that I actually put and attached to his note on his tree. So that everyone could see this thing that he did when he was in grade school, which is really a wonderful memory that, everyone should see.
So for me, watching you make those discoveries, I think that was the moment I knew you were all in at Ancestry. And that was years ago. As an employee, I am comforted to know that you are at the helm. As a customer, I am excited to know that you are at the helm of this company. And I'm excited for what you're leading us into.
Wonderful. I could say I have never been more excited about what's ahead for the company. A combination of everyone's passion here, our market position. We invest more in content than anybody, invest more in technology than anybody. So you have these great ingredients of a great brand, a great community, right? How many millions of subscribers do we have? With, AI, I think the best is yet to come for us.
Howard, thank you so much. I think this was a great conversation. I always get to know you a little bit better, but most importantly, our customers. Hopefully you got to know Howard a little bit better. I'm excited about the future of Ancestry, as excited as ever. And I'm also really grateful to Kyle and Yoshi. Thank you both for being here, for sharing with us all a little bit about some of the new product innovations happening here at the company, all in service of your family history journeys. I'm super interested, and I would love to hear in the comments, if you're watching this on YouTube, a little bit more about what discoveries you're making and if you've had a chance to use some of these new tools. That's all we have for you today with an inside look at Ancestry.